Hi friends, hello. Welcome to this special episode on the Youth Parliament. National Youth Parliament competition is conducted by Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, Government of India in association with Kendriya Vidyalaya Sanghana. The 33rd National Youth Parliament competition is in progress. In connection with that, the regional level competition was conducted at Kendriya Vidyalaya Naval Base, Ernakulam. Youth Parliament is conducted to create an awareness among the students about the parliamentary procedures, how a question is asked, how the ministers are giving answers to the questions, what are the list of items in a session, how a law is made, etc. The regional level competition was conducted at Kendriya Vidyalaya Naval Base, Kochi. The team of judges were headed by Professor K.V. Thomas, former Union Minister for Food and Civil Supplies. We are very happy to see that Kendriya Vidyalaya Kanjikode was selected for the first runner-up trophy. The Vidyalaya was represented by a team of 55 students trained by 6 teachers, and the session is like this.
Honorable members, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, a very good morning to all of you, and I welcome you all to the 33rd Regional Youth Parliament session, and I hope this session will be fruitful. We begin today's session with the oath of affirmation of our newly elected members. Secretary General, please.
Srimati Nandita Dikshit, who stands elected from the Varanasi constituency of Uttar Pradesh, will now take the oath or affirmation. Madam, do you want to take the oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In Sanskrit, please.
Aham.
अहं नन्दिता दीक्षित लोकसभायाः सदस्यत्वेन निर्वाचिता निश्चयेन परमेश्वरस्य नाम्ना शपे यदहं विधिना स्थापितं भारतस्य संविधानं प्रति सत्यां श्रद्धां निष्ठां च धारयिष्ये यदहं भारतस्य सम्पूर्णं प्रभुत्वं सम्पन्नताम् अखण्डतां च रक्षयिष्यामि तथा यत्पदं गृहीतुम् अहम् उद्यतोऽस्मि तस्य कर्तव्यानि श्रद्धापूर्वकं निर्वक्ष्यामि.
Welcome, Nandita. Honorable members, as we meet today, it is my sad duty to inform the House the demise of our former colleague, Shri Vikas Raj. Shri Vikas Raj was an agriculturist by profession and an active social worker. He worked in the rural areas, devoting his time and energy for the welfare of agricultural laborers and the uplife of the backward classes and the downtrodden. He was the president of Mazdoor Sabha, Mirzapur. An able parliamentarian and an effective orator, he took keen interest in the proceedings of the House. He passed away at New Delhi on 30th July 2022 at the age of 45.
Sir, I rise to pay my tributes to Sri Vikas Raj, whose death is being deeply mourned by all. He was a young man who had a bright future ahead of him. His death is a true loss to our country. He was with us to the very last moment. He seemed well and happy. Hence, the shock of his death is all the more greater. I stand here with a soul full of gratitude and a heart in pain. Sir, I would like to extend my deepest condolences on behalf of my government and myself to the family.
Sir, I associate myself with tributes paid by you and the leaders of the House. Sri Vikas Raj was a person who, because of his lovable nature, never annoyed anyone and was a person with a smiling face. वो अति शांत, सौम्य और स्पष्टवादी व्यक्ति थे। मैं और मेरे पक्ष के सदस्य महान सपूत श्री विकास राज की इस अकस्मात मृत्यु पर गहरा शोक व्यक्त करते हुए उन्हें श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करते हूँ।
Now, the House may stand in silence for a while to express our deep sorrow. Secretary General may convey the message of condolences to the bereaved family.
Yes, sir.
Prime Minister to introduce new ministers.
So, it is my pleasure to introduce to you and through you to the House my colleagues, the new ministers. Sri Ratan Verma, Minister of State of Communication. Srimati Neha Datta, Minister of Irrigation.
Now, let us begin with the question hour. Question number 101, Ms. Amrita Thakur.
Speaker Sir, question number 101. Will the Minister of Education be pleased to state, while the center's efforts in evacuating stranded Indians from Ukraine should be applauded, it is a matter of grave concern that more than 20,000 of the evacuees were students pursuing medical education in their country. What are the measures taken by the government to secure the future and life of these students?
Honorable Minister for Education, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, there is no such provision in Indian Medical Council Act 1956 and National Medical Commission Act 2019 to accommodate these students.
Honorable Speaker, sir, how can the government be unfair to these students in such a situation by just coding some rules? Isn't it high time to reconsider these rules?
Member, please be seated. Minister, you may continue.
Sir, as of now, all these students are attending online classes in various theory subjects. विदेशी चिकित्सा स्नातक लाइसेंस नियम 2021 कहता है पूरा पाठ्यक्रम, प्रशिक्षण और इंटर्नशिप भारत के बाहर अध्ययन के दौरान एक ही विदेशी चिकित्सा संस्थान में किया जाएगा और चिकित्सा प्रशिक्षण और इंटर्नशिप का कोई भी हिस्सा भारत में नहीं किया जाएगा।
Supplementary question, Mr. Advait Reddy.
आदरणीय महोदय, यदि ये छात्र इसी तरह ऑनलाइन कक्षाओं लेते रहेंगे तो हो सकता है कि वे भारत में अभ्यास करने के लिए बिल्कुल भी योग्य ना हो। प्रैक्टिकल के बिना उन्हें अपना प्रमाण पत्र नहीं मिलेगा और किसी भी परिस्थिति में वे भारत में चिकित्सा का अभ्यास नहीं कर पाएंगे। And I am sure that none of us would be entertained by the prospect of being treated by a doctor who has not taken any practical classes.
Mr. Advait, this is the question now. Please come to your point.
Yes, sir. वे सब ये मांग कर रहे हैं कि उन्हें ऑफलाइन कक्षाओं और इंटर्नशिप में भाग लेने का अवसर दिए जाए। इस पर सरकार की क्या प्रतिक्रिया है?
Honorable Minister, please.
Respected Speaker, sir, the National Medical Commission provisions on online classes is as follows. Foreign graduates are allowed to undergo online classes in theory subjects only, supplemented by official practical and clinical medical training done at the medical university and its affiliated hospitals during the course of MBBS. They are also required to furnish certificate of successful completion for the same. Speaker Mahodaya, वे हमारे अपने बच्चे हैं, देश का एक अभिन्न अंग है और देश उनकी शिक्षा और करियर की जिम्मेदारी से इनकार नहीं कर सकता। उनके लिए ऑनलाइन कक्षाएं, विशेष व्यावहारिक सत्र, शाम की कक्षाएं जब भी और जहां भी संभव हो आयोजित की जाएगी। However, considering the unprecedented nature of the situation, high-level talks are going on with the Ukrainian government and discussions have already started with the neighboring countries of Ukraine which are neutral in this war so as to accommodate the Indian students to complete their course in an effective way. Sir, concerns related to this issue shall be settled amicably and I am sure that there won't be any issues related to their career, degree or future. और माननीय मेंबर, इतना तो हम दावा कर सकते हैं कि जब तक हमारे सरकार यहाँ है, आपको इसे सिर्फ ऑनलाइन कक्षाएं लेने वाले डॉक्टरों के पास जाना नहीं पड़ेगा।
No more supplementary questions, please. Next question, question number 102, Ms. Srinidhi Sharma.
Honorable Speaker, question number 102. My question to the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas. The price hike in the petroleum products within a short period of time is affecting the common people. What are the steps taken by the government in this regard?
Honorable Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, the price of fuel in India is directly related to the price of crude oil in the international market. 80% of our fuel is imported, which means that a global rise in the price directly translates to a similar price hike here. In 2020-21, the price of crude oil crashed in Saudi Arabia, the major producer, and they damped their production by 10 lakh barrels per day in an effort to cut their losses and bring the prices up. This resulted in a price stability back then. Now, however, the war in Ukraine has led to a disruption in the global supply chain, resulting in a global price hike and a corresponding price hike here. However, that certainly does not mean that government is not doing anything. We have cut the excise duties on petrol and diesel to rupees 8 and to rupees 6 per litre respectively as part of our efforts to minimize the burden of price hike on the common man. In fact, I think that I can allow myself to say that we have handled this situation pretty well. Of course, cooperation from the states is also needed to further bring down the prices of crude oil.
Supplementary question, Ms. Nakshatra.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I'd like to know whether the government has taken any steps regarding the switching of petroleum from the non-GST list to the GST list. If so, what would be its effect on the gross national income?
Sir, may I please answer to this question?
Yes, Honorable Minister for Finance, please.
Sir, while I cannot deny the beneficial effect of bringing fuel under the GST ambit, I would like to point out that it would also result in a very significant loss of revenue of rupees 2 lakh crore from the treasury of both the center and state. A burden that would inevitably pass on to the common people. As such, now we have no plan to bring petrol and diesel under the ambit of GST, at least for the present.
No more supplementary questions, please. Next question, question number 103, Ms. Catherine George.
Speaker, sir, question number 103. Will the Minister of External Affairs be pleased to state whether the government has planned or taken any measures to identify the unregistered individuals in the neighboring countries? If so, what are the details?
Honorable Minister for External Affairs, please.
Speaker, sir, the powers to identify and deport foreign nationals staying illegally in our country have been delegated to the state government and union territory administrations. All states are therefore advised to sensitize all the law enforcement agencies for taking prompt steps in identifying these illegal immigrants without any delay. The government is aware that it is essential to identify these illegal immigrants and keep an eye on their activities. We know that the detection and deportation of such illegal immigrants from Rakhine State is a continuous process.
Supplementary question, Ms. Sitara.
Speaker, sir, whether the government is planning to offer citizenship to refugees who have migrated to India. If so, the details thereof.
Honorable Minister, please.
Speaker, sir, as per our existing foreign policy, we are not going to offer citizenship to these refugees after considering various social issues.
महोदय, अगर ऐसा है तो उन्हें रोकने के लिए कोई सख्त कार्यवाही क्यों नहीं लिया जा रहा?
Member, please be seated. Minister, you may continue.
Thank you, sir. The refugees, with their invalid credentials, engage in domestic violence and later become untrackable. Due to this, a sense of fear has been awakened among the public, resulting in various other law and order issues. Our government is already extending financial aid and moral support to that country. Speaker, sir, we Indians are known for our benevolence and charity. But in this case, after considering our present population density, it is impossible to accommodate these refugees.
No more supplementary questions, please. Next question, question number 104, Ms. Gayatri Sumit.
Honorable Speaker, sir, question number 104. Will the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change be pleased to state whether Honorable Supreme Court ruling regarding the 1 kilometer eco-sensitive zone around National Park has been implemented? Have the repercussions it might have on the area been considered? If so, the details thereof.
Honorable Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, these ecologically sensitive zones are created to reduce the impact on climate change. Moreover, it is a part of NDC, Nationally Determined Contribution, which is in turn a part of the Paris Agreement, in which one of our aims is to increase the tree and forest cover area by 2030. I assure that there will be no forceful eviction of the inhabitants living in these areas. I would like to bring to the notice of the House that the Honorable Supreme Court has directed that the minimum width of the ecologically sensitive zones may be diluted in overwhelming public interest. But for that purpose, the state or union territory shall approach the Central Empowered Committee and my ministry, and both these bodies shall give their respective opinions or recommendations to the court. On that basis, the court shall pass appropriate order.
Supplementary question, Mr. Adityan Raj.
Sir, we would like to know what alternations the government plans to make in the implementation of the various projects pertaining to these areas in the wake of popular demands made by these residents.
Honorable Minister, please.
Sir, currently the case is under the consideration of the Honorable Supreme Court. The government will make a decision on this issue in accordance with the Honorable Supreme Court verdict.
Supplementary question, Mr. Navneet Tushar.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, क्या सरकार ने पश्चिमी घाटों के संबंध में डॉक्टर कस्तूरी रंगन रिपोर्ट को लागू करने के लिए कोई कदम उठाए हैं? यदि हाँ, तो उसका विवरण क्या है? यदि नहीं, तो इस विलंब का क्या कारण है?
Honorable Minister, please.
Sir Speaker, in order to follow a coherent and consistent approach in notifying the ecologically sensitive areas of Western Ghats, this ministry has been interacting with all the states of the Western Ghats regions at various levels. Efforts are being made to finalize the notification, taking into consideration the environmental concerns of the region and the suggestions or recommendations of the state governments concerned, keeping in view the conservation aspects and the developmental aspirations of the region.
No more supplementary questions, please. Question number 105, Ms. Ananya Saju.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am. Question number 105.
Will the Minister of Women and Child Development be pleased to state what actions are taken by the government regarding the recent POXO cases that occurred in the country? We all know that Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act came into existence in the year 2012.
Madam, this is the questioner, so do come to your point.
Yes, ma'am. Even after 10 years of its implementation, the number of cases are alarmingly increasing. The women too face such atrocities in their workplaces. What is the use of such laws which does not safeguard the safety and security of women and children?
Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am. As per the data regarding the child abuse cases under the POXO Act, the total number of cases registered in the year 2019 were 47,324. Whereas in 2021, the number of cases registered were 40,308. Therefore, it can be clearly seen that there is no increase in the number of cases registered under the POXO Act. Madam, the opposition is deliberately manipulating the data to tarnish the image of the government.
Honorable members, please remain silent. The minister may continue.
Thank you, ma'am. Further, the Department of Ministry is also implementing a national scheme for the setting up of more than 1,000, I repeat, ma'am, more than 1,000 fast-track special courts for providing speedy justice to the victims of POXO Act. Moreover, considering the paramount importance of the safety and security of women and children, the Cabinet has also decided to continue the scheme for 2 more financial years up to 31st March 2023 with a budgetary outlay of more than 1,000 crore rupees.
Supplementary question, Mr. Arjit Raghavan.
माननीय स्पीकर महोदया, क्या सरकार संबंधित एजेंसियों और अदालतों के बीच बेहतर सहयोग सुनिश्चित करने के लिए कोई कदम उठा रही है? पॉक्सो मामलों के त्वरित और बेहतर निपटान के लिए क्या विशेष अभियोजकों को प्रशिक्षण दिए हैं? यदि हाँ, तो तत्संबंधी ब्यौरा क्या है और यदि नहीं, तो इसका क्या कारण है?
Honorable Minister, please.
Speaker, Madam, as per the information received, the NCPCR has taken many initiatives. Please let me complete. POXO ट्रैकिंग पोर्टल का शुभारंभ 17 जुलाई 2022 को किया गया। ट्रैकिंग पोर्टल की परिकल्पना राष्ट्रीय कानूनी सेवा प्राधिकरण और NCPCR के संयुक्त सहयोग से की गई है। The committee also organized various meetings at different regions of the country with an objective to build a comprehensive understanding on the implementation of the POXO Act.
Now the questioner is over.
Madam.
Yes, Ms. Ananya.
Madam, I would like to raise a serious issue regarding the safety of our country. A foreign ship from our neighboring country visited the Hambantota port of Sri Lanka, and this visit was a threat to India's security. Many nations have cautioned us regarding this visit. The well-equipped ship will be there in the Indian Ocean for a few more months. It's believed that the ship's aim is to collect various security data. No doubt, the visit of the ship has escalated tension in the Indian peninsula. World security experts have also looked at this matter with great concern.
Ma'am, the common people of our country have panicked after seeing the news about the ship, and we feel insecure. Ma'am, I want to know what action was taken by the government to monitor the activities of the ship.
Ma'am, I seriously doubt whether the government has approached this breach of security with the gravity that it deserves. I would like the government to tell us frankly, does India have a reason to be worried?
Ma'am.
Yes, Ms. Ananya.
Honorable Speaker,
I would like to draw the attention of the House towards the Agnipath scheme. Why is the government so reluctant to have an open debate on this matter? How does the government plan to ensure social and financial securities when the recruits have already completed their tenure? Even an elected government has 5 years tenure, ma'am. What about the effectiveness of their training? We are worried this scheme may reduce the operational effectiveness of the armed forces.
Madam Speaker, the government is aware of the situation. We are collecting the information of the issue, and the ministers concerned will answer the question in the next meeting.
Honorable members, several MPs have given breach of privilege notice against the editor of News Daily Jwala. Sriman Arjun Rao can bring this to the notice of the House. The member may speak.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the editor of the newspaper Jwala has used derogatory and defamatory language against the members of the parliament, attributing motives to a decision taken in the parliament. This is against the parliamentary privileges, the rights and immunities enjoyed by the parliament as an institution and MPs in their individual capacity, without which we cannot discharge our functions as entrusted upon us by the Constitution.
The House does hold the editor guilty of breach of privilege. However, instead of recommending punishment, the House saves its own dignity by not giving undue importance to such irresponsible articles. They are published for cheap publicity and thus deserve no further discussions. Honorable members, I have an announcement to make. On my own behalf of the honorable members of the House, I have a great pleasure in extending our warm welcome to His Excellency Mr. Hiroyuki Hoshida, Speaker of the Japanese Parliament, and other honorable members of the Japanese parliamentary delegation who are on a visit to India as our honored guests. The other honorable members are Mrs. Takaka Odoi, Deputy Speaker, Mr. Hirotaka Akamatsu, also Deputy Speaker. It is a very high-powered delegation. The delegation arrived on Monday, 29th August 2022. They are now seated in the special box. We wish them a happy and fruitful stay in our country. And we also convey our warm greetings and very best wishes through them to the Emperor, the Prime Minister, the Parliament, the government, and the friendly people of Japan.
Secretary General, to report the message from the upper chamber of the Youth Parliament.
Sir, I have to report the following message received from the Secretary of the Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament. Is that the bill of regulation of sports bodies 2022, which was passed by the Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament.
Secretary General, to lay on the table a copy of the bill as passed by the upper chamber of the Youth Parliament.
Sir, I lay on the table of the House the bill of regulation of sports bodies 2022 as passed by the upper chamber.
Secretary General, to lay the papers on the table.
Sir, yes sir.
Honorable Minister of Water Resources, to lay the papers on the table.
Sir Speaker, may I be permitted to lay on the table a copy of the following papers, Hindi and English version of the Ministry of Water Resources.
Yes, please.
Annual Report of the National Water Development Agency, New Delhi, for the year 2021-22 and the National Committee on Dam Safety Rules 2022 published a notification number GSR 134 in Gazette of India dated 17th February 2022.
Now, let us take up the calling attention motion.
I request Ms. Vishnupriya, Ms. Sanuja and Ms. Gayatri to call the attention of the Minister of Health and Family Welfare. Ms. Vishnupriya, please.
Sir, I call the attention of the Minister of Health and Family Welfare to the following matter of urgent public importance and request that the Minister may make a statement thereon the situation arising out of food adulteration in the country and the steps taken by the government in this regard.
Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, please.
Sir Speaker, the government is fully conscious of the injurious effect caused by the consumption of adulterated food by the consumers. The Food Safety and Standards Act 2006 consolidated the laws related to food and established the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, the FSSAI, for laying down science-based standards for articles of food and to regulate their manufacture, sale and import, distribution, storage, and to ensure the availability of safe and wholesome food for human consumption. As per the Act, penalties or punishments shall be given to those who sell food not of nature or substance or quality demanded, substandard food, expired food items, food containing extraneous matter, and unsafe food for possessing adulterants. To keep food adulteration in check, regular surveillance, monitoring, and sampling of food products is being undertaken by the government. Sir, to check the quality of food items like milk, grain, dairy products, fruits, vegetables, etc., an online platform had been developed by the FSSAI by the name of DART. The Food Safety and Standards Regulation 2011 prescribes limits for pesticide residues, naturally occurring toxic substances, and metal contaminants. The government had also revised the punishment set aside for milk adulteration, which is now life imprisonment and a fine of rupees 10 lakh. As per the Food Safety Act 2019, deception in the cases of labeling, packaging and misleading advertisement is a serious offence and strict action shall be taken in these cases.
Ms. Vishnupriya, please.
Sir, I would like to begin with the quote of Swami Vivekananda, which says, "Brave, bold men and women, these are what we want. What we want is vigor in the blood, strength in the nerves, iron muscles and nerves of steel. Avoid all these, avoid all misery." Unquote. These qualities envisaged by him to construct a strong nation will be a far-fetched idea if we do not curb to menace food adulteration. If we leave food adulteration unchecked, we are bound to lose lives more than any war. The adulterated items include oil, milk, and even water. It is ironic that a flourishing country like ours finds tourists carrying bottled water when they visit us. It has been stated that the milk obtained from hormone-injected cows induces risk to a variety of cancers when consumed by humans. Sir, it is equally harmful for both human and cattle alike, and it is sad to note that this trend is being seen all around the country. Another major threat in the country is resistance to antibiotics. The presence of antibiotics residues in honey, meat, poultry and egg products consumed can produce the resistance in the bacterial population in the human body, and it makes infections for treatments fairly difficult. If this continues, sir, we will not have any frontline medicine. No frontline medicine to treat basic diseases like typhoid, like malaria and other common fevers. The latest one reported in the country, a new disease called IBS, that is inflammatory bowel syndrome.
Ms. Gayatri Yadav, please.
Speaker, sir, another hurdle that I would like to bring to the notice of the House is the unregulated use of pesticides. Studies reveal that pesticides cause birth defects, nerve damage and various cancer, mostly among the rural folks, as they remain unaware of these hazards. A recent study conducted by researchers in Rajasthan University has shown that there are high alarming levels of organochloride pesticides in the blood and milk of lactating mothers. This is a matter of grave concern
as mother's milk as a gift to us from God. I would like to cite an example of my native village, Periyadka. 20 years ago, there was only one cancer patient in my village. But now, in a population of 1,000, 50 people are suffering from cancer. 50 out of 1,000. Most of them are unable to afford a proper treatment. Speaker sir, this is the situation of my village. So you can imagine the situation of other villages that are not yet developed. This is now a national crisis with the number of cancer patients steeply increasing in our country. The highest number of cancer patients in India is detected from Kerala. I'm not exaggerating when I say that there is hardly any food that is left unadulterated. Statistics show that current laws are inadequate and the culprits are going scot-free with mega fines and small punishments. Adulteration is as good as poisoning the public and therefore strict laws should be there. Punishments given should be as severe as in attempt to murder cases and the adulterators should be booked under such provision.
Miss Sanuja Sharma.
आदरणीय महोदय, चाहे दूध हो, चाय हो, फल हो या सब्जी, सब चीज में मिलावट का बोलबाला है। बड़े बुजुर्ग कह के गए हैं, आहार शुद्धो ही सत्व शुद्धो दुर्वास्मृति। अगर आहार शुद्ध है तो हमारे देश की आधी से ज़्यादा रोग संबंधी समस्याएं तो यूं ही हल हो जाएगी। पर आज तो देश का ये हाल है, यहाँ भी मिलावट, वहाँ भी मिलावट, यहाँ तक कि खाने में भी मिलावट। जाए तो कहाँ जाए, खाए तो क्या खाए। मान्यवर, हर चीज़ में मिलावट है। फलों को जल्दी पकाने के लिए कैल्शियम कार्बाइड का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है, मांस मच्छी को ताज़ा रखने के लिए फॉर्मेलिन का, और मिर्च मसालों में तो सुडैंडेड मिलाया जाता है। अरे इस मिलावट के ज़माने ने तो जहर तक को नहीं छोड़ा। आजकल चूहों को चूहे मारने वाली दवाई दावत जैसे लगने लगी है। दूध की तो बात ही करना बेकार है। 70% दूध जो मार्केट में बेचे जा रहे हैं वो हाल ही में मिलावटी साबित किए गए हैं। मुझे किसी की कही हुई बात याद आ रही है कि हमारे देश में शरीर से निकलने वाले पदार्थों की जांच करने के लिए गली गली मोहल्ले में लेबोरेटरीज हैं। यहाँ तक कि घर घर में जाके सैंपल्स लेने की सुविधा है। पर मैं यहाँ पर उपस्थित मेरे प्रिय मित्र विधायकों से सवाल करना चाहूँगी कि क्या आप अपने क्षेत्र में उपस्थित किसी 4, ज़्यादा नहीं कह रही, केवल 4 फूड लेबोरेटरीज के नाम बिना कहीं देखे या बिना इंटरनेट के माध्यम से बता पाएंगे?
Members, please maintain the order of the house.
आदरणीय महोदय, मैं दावे के साथ कह सकती हूँ नहीं बता पाएंगे। मैं भी नहीं बता पाऊंगी। क्यों? क्या कारण है इसका? इसका यही कारण है कि हमारे देश में फूड लेबोरेटरीज की संख्या ही इतनी कम है। मान्यवर, अगर हमारे देश में कोई सक्षम फूड लेबोरेटरीज ही नहीं है तो हम इस मिलावटपन जैसी बड़ी समस्या का हल कैसे निकाल पाएंगे? अब मैं बात करना चाहूँगी एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी के बारे में। हम सभी ने कभी ना कभी तो ये नाम सुना ही होगा। क्या है ये एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी? वो क्वालिटी जो दूसरे देशों द्वारा खाद्य पदार्थों पर निष्कर्ष किया गया है। अगर हमारे देश की कंपनियां एक्सपोर्ट के नाम पर दूसरे देशों में बेचे जाने वाले खाद्य पदार्थों को बिना मिलावट के साथ बना सकते हैं, तो वही कंपनियां जब अपने देश की बात आती है, अपने लोगों पर बात आती है, तो खराब क्वालिटी के खाद्य पदार्थ क्यों बेचती है? इसका एक ही कारण संभव नहीं, इसका एक ही कारण है सख्त नियमों का अभाव। माननीय महोदय, जनता का ये पूरा हक बनता है कि वो बिना मिलावट वाले खाद्य पदार्थों का सेवन करें, और इस हक को लोगों तक पहुंचाने की पूरी की पूरी जिम्मेदारी सरकार की ही है।
Yes, Miss Vishnupriya.
Sir, within the last 3 months, 9 cases of death due to the consumption of adulterated food items have been reported in the country. अगर यही हाल होगा तो शासन करने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री जी सिर्फ आप ही होंगे, प्रजा तो नहीं रहेगी।
Honorable Prime Minister, please.
स्पीकर सर, फूड अडल्ट्रेशन के खिलाफ हमने कार्रवाई की है, इसीलिए ये सिर्फ 9 मामले तक रुक गई है। अगर हमने उचित समय पर कार्रवाई न की होती तो ये मामला और भी गंभीर हो सकता था। खाद्य सुरक्षा के लिए हमारे सरकार ने उचित समय पर एक उचित प्रभावी दल की आयोजना की है। माननीय मेंबर, आपने खाद्य की एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी के बारे में कुछ बात की थी। वो सुनकर मुझे बड़ा दुख हुआ, क्योंकि भारत मेरा परिवार है। कोई अपने परिवार के साथ ऐसा व्यवहार करेगा? यहाँ बात खाद्य पदार्थ की गुणवत्ता की नहीं, आपकी सोच बदलने की आवश्यकता की है। मान्यवर, लगता है गणित में आप माहिर हो, पर मुझे ये समझ नहीं आ रहा कि करोड़ों लोगों में से सिर्फ मैं ही जिंदा कैसे रहूंगी। उतनी भी भाग्यशाली नहीं हूं मैं। कम से कम आपने तो मेरी लंबी उम्र की आशा तो की, उसकी मैं हमेशा आभारी रहूंगी।
Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, please.
स्पीकर सर, अभी कॉलिंग अटेंशन मोशन में माननीय सदस्य द्वारा जो चिंता जाहिर की है उसका सही रूप में निवारण किया जाएगा। उसके लिए हमारी सरकार कार्यक्षम भी है और कार्यरत भी है। सबसे पहली बात तो ये है कि माननीय सदस्यों ने जिसे थ्रेट के रूप में कहा है वो सरकार ने चैलेंज के रूप में ली है। एक बात हमें समझनी होगी कि जहाँ तक अडल्ट्रेशन या कंटामिनेशन को चेक करने का सवाल हो तो उसके नए नए तरीके और नए ढंग समाज में लोग उपयोग करते हैं। Sir, the government is fully aware that a mechanism has to be developed which is continuous, which is regulatory, which monitors and also finds ways and means to curb adulteration जो नए नए तरीके में मार्केट में इम्प्लीमेंट हो रही है। मैं तीनों माननीय सदस्यों की चिंता को अपने साथ समावेश करती हूँ और सर, आपके माध्यम से इस सदन को ये विश्वास दिलाना चाहती हूँ कि हमारी सरकार इसे सीरियसली मीट आउट करेगी। क्योंकि हाल ही में हमारी सरकार ने एक टास्क फोर्स गठित की जो सिर्फ 45 दिन में अपनी रिपोर्ट हाजिर करेगी और उन सजेशंस को हम पब्लिक डोमेन में डालेंगे ताकि हमें जनता का इनपुट भी प्राप्त हो सके। जब सरकार ने इसकी तरफ दृढ़ कदम उठाया है तो कुछ समझ के ही उठाया होगा, ऐसे ही नहीं जैसे हवा में तीर चलाने की बात हो। आदरणीय महोदय, धन्यवाद।
Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare to introduce the bill.
Speaker sir, I beg to move for leave to introduce a bill further to introduce agriculture curriculum in National Education Policy 2022.
Now the question is that leave be granted to introduce a bill further to introduce National Agriculture Curriculum in National Education Policy 2022. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Those who are against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Leave is granted.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
Now the House will take up the consideration of the Right to Work Act 2022. Honorable Minister for Labour and Employment, please.
Sir, I beg to move the bill for guaranteed employment and payment for work in accordance with its quantity and quality, or the Right to Work Act 2022. The main clauses of this bill are ensuring secure livelihood to everyone. The program mainly focuses on youngsters between the age group of 18 to 35, among whom there is a higher rate of unemployment today even after being skilled and educated. They will be provided with jobs according to their skills and capabilities. The people of rural areas, especially the tribal categories who are socially and economically backward, are given special privileges and are provided with employment for the betterment of their lifestyle and to create stability to their family. 2. Adjusting the school curriculum accordingly for providing vocational training. Vocational training is under consideration to be started from the school itself. Skills and trainings are imparted to the most basic level of population, especially to those living below the poverty line. Along with that, after their school level training and education, they will be provided with course as for higher studies, which will help them in developing the skills which they have previously learned and also identifying and improving inherent entrepreneurial skills. Quality education will certainly create skilled and well-informed youth who would be better employable and can create business opportunities for others in both public and private sectors. After their training and skill development, the government will help those people who wish to begin a new startup by providing financial and technical assistance, making this policy a part of government's Make in India scheme. The third provision is the benefits of overall development. Apart from providing economic security, it can help in protecting the environment, empowering women, reducing the rural-urban migration, and fostering social equity among others. Sir, the fourth provision is the raising of funds. The fund for this program will be raised by both central and state governments. 75% of the fund will be raised by the central government and the rest 25% will be raised and bring by the state. An employment cess of 1.5% will be added in all union taxes. 0.3% of the next budget will be allotted for this scheme, and also 1% of the budget allotted to defense will be diverted for this. Sir, I am confident that every member of this House, irrespective of party affiliation, will wholeheartedly welcome this bill, and through it, we can all be a part of providing a better future to our youth and the development of our country. Sir, with these words, now I move that the Right to Work Bill 2022 be taken into consideration.
Shriman Adarsh, what are your remarks on this bill?
Sir Speaker, the Bill of Right to Work will contribute to the quality development of our country. Rise in employment opportunities will definitely be possible once the bill is passed. Those who have employment opportunities as befitting to their qualification and skills will have their own value in the society. Employment provides financial freedom and decision-making power. Apart from rise in employment opportunities and increase in standard of living for the citizens of India, the situation of brain drain can be immensely reduced. All of us are aware that India is losing the best of its brain to other countries due to lack of employment opportunities. Once the employment prospects look up, brain drain will get automatically reduced. The cream of India will serve for their own country in a better way, thereby contributing to the development of their motherland. Sir, let me point out that increase in employment opportunities will directly result in reduction in crime rate, creates a better living standards, thereby contributing to the development of our country. Thus, I strongly support the bill and request my fellow members to take this bill into consideration and make the right to work a fundamental right.
Shriman Bhagat, what is your opinion on this bill?
Sir Speaker, the introduced bill for consideration raises many queries for which the government is answerable. As we are aware, our country lacks funds for a project as big as this. Look before you leap is what I want to remind the government. We think the government is over ambitious about this project without taking into account the actual scenario. This project claims equal opportunities for all gender, class and creed, right? Imagine, you are speaking to the majority of women who are still in the shackles of social taboos and tradition. What about them? What about the transgenders? And where do they stand? Sir, we will not remain silent as our citizens are given false promises and guarantees without an actual plan. We are not against providing employment opportunities, but how will the government manage with the training and distribution of the skilled citizens and allotting them appropriate jobs according to their ability? How long will it take for the government in implementing the action plan? What assurance can the government give on job security for the youth? The scalability of this will differ from state to state depending upon the population density and other criteria. So what would be the role of state government in implementing this plan? We are not fools to fall into the deceptive promises of the government. We will raise questions and hold the government answerable.
Opposition Leader, Ms. Archana Patel, please enlighten the House with your views.
स्पीकर महोदय, मैं बिल पर विचार के लिए बिल के प्रस्ताव पर अपनी राय साझा करना चाहती हूँ। जैसा कि श्रम मंत्री ने सिर्फ दावा किया है कि भारत की पूरी युवाओं के लिए रोजगार के अवसर पर ध्यान केंद्रित किया गया है, लेकिन 18 से 35 वर्ष की आयु के युवाओं की संख्या बहुत ज़्यादा है और मेरी सवाल यह है कि इतनी बड़ी संख्या के लिए सरकार रोजगार कैसे सुनिश्चित कर सकते हैं? सरकार को ऐसे वादे और गारंटी देना बंद कर देना चाहिए जिन्हें वो पूरे ना कर सके। Their inability and incapability is being shown through every incomplete project they have ever introduced. It is high time that the government should realize their inefficiency being the ruling party. Sir, आज की स्थिति में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वर्कफोर्स प्राइवेट सेक्टर में ही तैनात है। उनको कोई जॉब सिक्योरिटी नहीं मिल रही है। आज की लेबर मार्केट में जो इन्फॉर्मलाइजेशन चल रहा है वो दरअसल एक चिंताजनक मुद्दा है। Sir, this bill, if introduced, could deny the freedom of choice of employment and could also restrict the proper usage of the skills of the person. इन सबको ध्यान में रखते हुए ये बिल पास नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं ये दावा करती हूँ कि ये बिल विफल होने वाली एक और परियोजना है।
Honorable Prime Minister, please.
Speaker, sir, I strongly support the moving of the bill as it would be a major landmark in the development of our country. It is the youth aged between 18 to 35 who face the brunt of the lack of employment opportunities. I vehemently oppose the opposition's contention that we are moving headlong into the bill without giving it adequate consideration. Where there is a will, there is a way. कहा जाता है ढूंढने से तो भगवान भी मिल जाते हैं. Paucity of funds is not an issue at all, considering the fact that we can raise sufficient funds through cess. As far as wasting employment opportunities in women are considered, we are shocked to see the opposition taking such old-fashioned and gender-biased views. I seriously wonder whether we are in the 21st century or in the 18th century. I think we have come a long way, whereas the opposition are still stuck in the primitive times. If at all women are reluctant to come forward due to their social or personal reasons, I think this is the most appropriate way of educating and liberating them. Speaker, sir, I would like to emphasize that our government is very much committed to providing equal employment opportunities to men, women and transgenders without any bias. Sir, I would like to conclude by reminding everyone in this house that there is a reason why our government is seated on this side while the opposition is seated on that side of the parliamentary house.
Honorable Minister for Labour and Employment, please.
Sir, I would like to remind the House that the rules and regulations outlined in the labour laws and welfare scheme are being executed well. And I can guarantee you that the same benefits would be extended to the additional workforce created by the implementation of this bill. The areas of concern raised by the honourable members of opposition have already been thought of and attended to. I am sure that the increase in demand in labour market will be addressed by the opportunities created in the ICT, tourism, hotel management, health and education sectors where India's potential has not been tapped to the fullest. Sir, I beg to state that this is a revolutionary leap for India, and I'm sure that with proper implementation, India will become an employment hub for global citizens.
Now the question is that the Bill Right to Work Act 2022 be taken into consideration. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now the question is, clause 2 to 6 stands part of the bill. But there is an amendment in clause 5 by Shriman Bhagat. Sir, are you moving it?
No, sir. In view of the reply given by the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister for Labour and Employment, I am not pressing my amendment.
Now the question is that the clause 2 to 6 stands part of the bill. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it,
the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Clause 2 to 6 stands part of the bill. Now the question is, Clause 1, the enacting formula and the title of the bill stands part of the bill. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Honorable Minister for Labour and Employment, please.
Sir, I move the bill be passed.
Motion moved that the bill be passed. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The bill is passed. The House is adjourned to meet again tomorrow at 11 a.m.